So, we will discuss you automatically without any chika-chika. Okay. So, we need to solve this. Again, this torque, right? Torque. Okay, ganon. Okay. So, did you still remember the definition of a torque before I discussed that yesterday, right? So, torque is gonna be the rotational motion that involves a moment of inertia and angle of acceleration. And then another definition will be the force times distance. Okay, there are two definitions of torque. Okay, like that's gonna be the force times distance, and the other one is also moment of inertia, okay, times the angular acceleration, like this. Okay, you will choose, it depends on the problem. Okay, it's gonna be like this. Okay, so here is an example of, this is gonna be just like a lever, two levers, lever arm, okay, and it is a fulcrum at the center, something like that, and we need to solve the torque. Okay, so how can we do this? Okay, in this case, we need to go direct. If you found out there's a center pivot here, so it's gonna be like you're gonna be telling that the total torque, something like that, will be equal to all the torques involved in this. Okay, for example, it's F1. So F1 will go there clockwise. What's this? Clockwise, we need to say it's going down. F1. It's going down. O, ganun siya. So, unsa man na siya. So, unsa man siya mga palangga. Kung going down siya, it's gonna be negative, right? See? Going down. Ganon. It's gonna be negative. Okay, negative F1 times distance 4 meters. Okay. Ganon. And then the other one is F3. It is gonna be F2, right? Okay. So in this case, you cannot equate the torque 1 is equals torque 2 because there are a lot of torques here, not only 2. 3 torque. Okay, torque 1, torque 2, and torque 3. Wow. Okay. And then here the second one is, so this is with angle of inclination 60 degrees. Then you have to connect an imaginary vertical line, and then and also the horizontal line, right? So it's gonna be, this one is F2y and it is F2x. So the vertical and horizontal components of the force of F2, something like that. Get the point, mga palangga kumitan. Okay. Get the point. Now, then this F2 will travel there. So it's gonna be rotating counterclockwise. It's gonna be positive. Get the point? So plus, okay, it's gonna be plus F2y here. F2y, right? F2y. Because vertical man siya. Okay, then plus here, this one, the vertical component of F3, which is also F3y, and then the horizontal component, which is F3x. Okay, so F3y, as you can see, it will go in the downside. You get the point? So it's gonna be negative. Okay, it's gonna be negative. Negative F3y, right? Now guys, you are confusing because the F1 is going down, and why I say it is negative. Okay, because sometimes guys, you will be confused in this manner because you can say that there's a mixture of linear and rotational. Okay, linear momentum and rotational momentum mixed here, right? And then there's a pivot, right? Pivot here. Fulcrum. Then if you put this F1 down, it will like this. Okay? So meaning to say, it creates a clockwise motion, right? Clockwise. That's the point. So if clockwise siya, unsa man na siyang clockwise, that is negative. Right? More job negative. Diba naman siya? Clockwise, negative. O, diba? Counterclockwise, positive. Then before going further, guys, you should review the rotation because it will become wrong your answer. Check our comprehension with regards to rotation. So F2 vertical, paano ito? Ganon. It's gonna be counterclockwise gonna be positive ang F2Y. Ang F3Y mga palangga itong hitan is going like this. So that's gonna be negative. F3Y. Here man siya. Ganon. Okay? Get the point? And then an F1 na to chord. That is also clockwise negative. Okay? So, memorize the clockwise negative. Okay? And then counterclockwise is positive. Then if you forgot, just think of it, guys, that for example, clockwise, of course it's going there like that. That's like a clock, right? So it's gonna be like, it's going like this, meaning to say it's going down, right? If going down always, that is negative. Okay, because down is always negative from the x and y axis. Vertical, horizontal. So quadrant 1, quadrant 2, quadrant 3, quadrant 4. Then quadrant 1 is, diba, ano siya, positive. Quadrant 2 is negative. Quadrant 3 is, also negative. Quadrant 4 is gonna be positive like that. Ang upward niya, negative, and down, positive. Then, ang clockwise, mana man siya, so padung siya sa negative. Okay, that's why ang clockwise negative. Okay, ang counterclockwise, opposite siya, positive gayon. Kasi kung sarang yung memorize, clockwise, the opposite will be the opposite sign also. You can say also that's going to be the reverse, kalas, right? Kaya reverse clockwise, he will also go to the top man siya. Ang top kay positive man siya, right? Dito man si y-axis sa taas, sa positive man siya. Ang rotation palong dito, so positive siya. Okay? So during memorization, you should be extra careful for this. Huh? Like this. Kasi mabalingin mo, masayop ang imong computation, you will become wrong in your computation of the torque. If the direction will be wrong. Get the point? Again, counterclockwise will be positive, negative is clockwise. What's the reason? Because counterclockwise will be going up, and clockwise will be going down. And down is negative, and up is positive. Just like that only. Okay? Get the point? And then here, how can we do this? Okay. Now we have the first one correct. And then in F2, how can we compute this one? So this one, actually we can memorize easily, but for the purpose of discussion, this is one Pythagoras theorem. Okay? Like that. If you are following in my, in my vlog, in my live streaming, then you can understand easily, no need to go back. But in fairness to those who are not following my vlog, I may explain this by the Pythagoras theorem. Okay? It's gonna be, so sine theta or sine 60 degrees is equals to F2y. Opposite. Opposite of the angle. Okay? Sine theta is the opposite of the angle of inclination. So F2y over hypotenuse. This one, hypotenuse, is your diagonal, which your force directed to the lever arm. It's gonna be F2. Okay, so you can say, mga palangga, kung hitan, F2y is equals to F2 times sine 60 degrees. Then this value, substitute this F2y here, like that. Same thing also with F3y. So F3y is here, ganon. It's gonna be opposite of the angle. 50 is 3y is another. F3y, okay, over the hypotenuse, this one, F3. Okay, hypotenuse F3 or diagonal line, or the force directed to the another lever arm is equal to, okay, sine degrees, 50 degrees. Ganon. So your F3y will be F3 times sine of 50 degrees. Substitute the remaining value there, Ari. Okay. Now, you will be shocked in here because it's not the same with, the other forces, right? Because like tension, like what else? The normal force, like the kinetic frictional force, the static frictional force, that considers the horizontal x component. Here, it will never consider the x component for the reason that the torque is acting perpendicular man siya sa rotation. So the horizontal will never be considered. You get the point? Always vertical. Say F3y. Y, and like this. The x is not relevant. The force on the in the horizontal is not relevant. Mura na siya different siya, guys, ha? Okay, in computation of the torque, the horizontal forces will not be included. Okay? Take note. I guess, I'm not sure, because if that is a plane only, then that is 180 degrees, right? Here is the 0 degrees, and there the 180 degrees. Yung mga nakasagad guys na, F1, ano nga, F1 cosine, no, F1 sine of 0 degrees. Like this. Let's say how much the sine 0 degrees. Basta siguro hindi akil ma 0, siguro ni siya. Okay, unsa kaha. Okay, so sine, okay, sine 0 pila siya. Okay, sine 0 is equals to, okay, and sine 180, okay, ganun siya mga kapatid. Okay, 0 cosine, okay, cosine 0 is equal to 1 siya. That's why guys, dili siya ma-appeal ang ang angle sa 180 degrees. Okay? Kaya ma 1 ra magyapon siya. F1 cosine theta is equal to 1. So 1 times F1 is just equal to F1. That's why we don't need to put the cosine, the sine. Get the point? Because actually, kung imo siyang tinudon, there's an angle here also, see? 0, 90, 180, 270, 360 degrees. Like that, okay? In a circle. Okay? But, wala lang gibutang sa together, but understood siya. But still the same, you'll never include that because the cosine of 180 degrees is equal to, 1. Okay? Get the point? And then, cosine of 80 degrees is equal to 1. Let's check. Let's make it sure, right? Okay. Cosine of 180 is equals to, yes. Okay? 1 siya, but kaya ang 80 na naman dali, may mo siyang negative 1. But still the same. Okay? You got the point mga palangga? Okay? Akong tinudon ha. Char! Tinudon. Nakakaloka. Ana maguna siya guys. Okay, di ba? Okay. Di ba? Horizontal. So, cosine. Here, it's still 0. Okay, 0 degree. Okay, so 0 degree, the cosine of 0 degree is only 1. That's why 1 times F1 is just F1. That's why in your calculation, you don't have to include the angle. Now here also, 180, and this in the left, that is left, right? So cosine of 180 degrees, it will be negative 1. Okay, so again, negative F1 times this one is still negative F1. Negative F1 plus F1 will be equal to 0. So, neutralize. So, we don't consider the forces angle. Kada na yung na-shade bilangkad, ano yung i-consider? Yung bilangkad, ragod siya. Pero, horizontal gani, ano na nagdaginuta. But other books, mga good guys, i-discuss pa nyo dito, ha? Okay. Di ba, mula sa work? So, kung imong tinudon, para siya, work is equals to force times distance cosine theta. And the torque also, torque is equals to force, distance, cosine theta. Kapareho naman siya. Nagkataong cosine theta, 1 man good siya. That's why we need to say work is equals to force times distance. And then torque is already force and distance. Get the point? Ganon. Okay? So, other books would explain like that. But usually, diretso ra ang uban, kasagaran. Because ang cosine theta, 1 ra man good siya. It doesn't affect. But you don't masabi explain why, right? You get the point? Magsinetabo. Any question? Nothing. Okay. Now, isubstitute natin sa tagsaso. Total torque is equal to negative F1 300. Okay, mga palangga kong hitag. Times 4. Okay. Plus F2. Ano siya no? Mga palangga kong hitag. So, it's gonna be 600 times ano niya? 600, 3 meters siya. Okay? Perpendicular geometry guys, ha? Okay, plus. And then the other one is, ano siya? Okay, 3. Okay, so sine of, ganun siya. Sine of 60. Okay, 60 man siya. And then, okay, the last one will be minus F3y, and then we have, kanisha, F3y. So F3, ang F3 na to is 500 sine of 50. Wala siya. So, muna nimo ang total torque. Ganon. Okay? So, substitute tayo mga palangga kong hitad. Okay? So, now din mo siya pagkuhan. Okay, sine of 60 degrees. Sine 60 degrees is equals to times 600. O ganon. So 519. Kani siya nga kuan 519.6. Kani usa. Okay. Sine of 50 is equals to times mga palang akong hitad is equals to, this is 383 kani siya. Okay, 383. So ano din ko minus this one. So 1 to 4 times 300. Siya. So negative na siya. Iyan na to duha. So it's gonna be 519.6 plus 383 is equals to minus 1,200 is equals to negative o positive 287.4 yung total torque. Okay, 297. Okay? Ganon. Kita point mga palangga. Okay? Any questions so far for this? 297 Newton meter. Okay, Newton meter. Okay, ari ang malibog ani guys diri ari ra jud ay. Okay, kuya diri ari. Okay, F1. Okay, kaya kung kan naman siya, may mo siya negative kaya F1 padungga sa ubos. Okay? Kani ba F1? Di ba? Kung imo na siya i-negative, di man mo parihaan ang answer. Kaya kaning F1, di ba? Mahimong siya negative. Sakto na negative ito siya. Negative 304, sakto. Okay. I-negative gid mo kay downward baya siya. Okay, ana. Any questions so palaga akong hitad? Okay. So, 297 Newton meter, sure na siya na answer. Okay? Ganun lang siya kasimple ang torque, guys, ha? You don't have to worry. Ganon. Okay? Any questions so far? And then, if in terms of katungkuan, may mga acceleration, ano ulit mo guys ay, okay, ano ito no? Torque is equals to moment of inertia I times angular acceleration. Ganon. Angular acceleration. Ang angular acceleration, kita mo kay formula ito ng acceleration times angular velocity. Kung sa din mong angular acceleration, imo na exercise diri ari ganon. Ana lang. Yang imong ay daghan man na siya katong I is equals to mr squared, I is equals to 2/5 mr squared, I is equals to 1/2 mr squared. Ang 2/5 mo na siya ang sphere. Ang 1/2 mo na siya ang circular or cylindrical. Ang I is a single mass. Okay, single mass meaning wala siya mga shape. Okay? Get the point? So, muna yung substitute nga ay dari-ari. Or kung gusto dyan ka mangita pag-bikil na sila ay formula ang I. Ano sa siya I is equals to the radius times the momentum, linear momentum na P. Anak. Okay? Ang momentum kay mass times velocity. Ganon. Ang nasa kay radius, makuha na mo mong I. Diba? So, ganun ka siya paraan. Yung kadiri-ari, you need velocity man. If di mention ng velocity, ari kadiri-ari kung lalo siya mass ng radius. Kasi karang diri-ari sa I ni mo. You get the point? For this, the torque in another version. But kasagaran guys, in the competition of a torque, katulad siya nga version katong force times distance na kasagaran sa problem. But, in the benefit of expect the unexpected, you should also know this. Okay? What if ihatag din na siya? Get the point? Ganon. Diba? So, muna tagbo. Yan, kung maglibog yung ka guys, diba, anak man kano. So, naghanap ko ng acceleration. Diba, this is the tangential acceleration. This is the angular acceleration. Duha lagi naka-acceleration. Mara rin ka nga, imo din ang pagkuha ng units kung pasok pa sa banga. Okay? Ang acceleration, ano ba na siya ang acceleration? Diba? Radian, angular acceleration, radian second squared. Ang imong angular velocity, ano man to siya? Radian, okay? And then per second. Di ba mo na imong kuan? Velocity. You get the point? Okay? So, cancel na nimo ang kuan. Ate ka, mo na ha? O, di siya ma-o. I told you, kung makalimot ganin mo guys, ibungkag rin yung unit ha. Okay? I told you how many times also. Right? It's gonna be a radians per second squared. So, it's gonna be the R, the radius here. Okay? Anak mo na siya guys, basta nag-memorize ganito ka, and then mag-doubt ka, ibungkag ang unit. Okay? Because, kung dili ka mo pareho ang unit, dili ni maong, ilisdan mo, anak man. Okay? So, what you na per me? Okay? Di ba? So, makarelate lang. Okay? Ano siya? So, gana, ano na ka nga, radius na yun, ano na yun, secant square na yun siya. Ari, di ba? Kaya radius mo na siya, ari. Okay? Dito dapat mga palangga kong hitad. Okay? Kaya radian mo na siya, radian. Ganon, anak. You get the point? So, mahimo na siyang meter per second squared. Okay? You get the point? Anak siya, guys. Kaning mong kaning arm mo diri, radius magud na siya. Okay? Ano ka? Radian per second squared ang angular acceleration. Ano ka? Okay. Mo man siya kay meter magud na siya, guys. So, meter per radian. Kasi lang radian, mahimo siyang meter second squared. Muna, acceleration man ang unit ang meter second squared. Okay? Anak siya. Okay? In every meter, in every radian, there is 1 meter of the radius. Okay? Katong tuyok man ako rin. Tuyok. Diba? Radian. Muna siya, guys, kanang bubuwag circle ba? Ano? Okay. Kami siya, anak. Ganon. Muna siya pasabot ng radian. Okay? 1 revolution. Ganon. 1 revolution. Anak. Equal to radian. Mamo yung kana, guys, na 1 revolution per radian because ang imo basis, usama mo siya ka radian. Okay? Ang usa ka revolution, usa na ka complete na radian. Muna mahanap ka nga, muna ma-cancel din siya after that. Charot. Okay? Ano ka? Revolution per radian. Times radian per second. Ma-cancel din mo. Muna makuha din mo ang RPM sa imong motor pump. Baron, RPM meaning revolution. Revolution per minute, or shall we say RPS, revolution per second. But usually, it is RPM sa mga specifications sa mga stationary equipment, rotating equipment. But actually, sa solve is gonna be, revolutions per second ang kasagaran. Tungkol mo na sa frequency. Ang unit sa frequency kay, ano naman siya, guys, vibration per second, ganon, or revolution per second also, and cycle per second, oscillation per second. So ito pa, 1 over S. 1 over S. Kanong iwan para man yung ito kay, understood mo na siya nga, 1 can be 1 cycle, 1 can be 1 revolution, okay? 1 can be 1 oscillation, like that, or 1 can be vibration. So that's why 1 over seconds. Wala atong frequency. Okay? You get the point. Now, it depends on the problem. If the problem is, you'll say revolution, blah, blah, so you have to put revolution in the numerator. Ganon. Okay? Like that. And then if the problem also will say, for example, electrons oscillate in a blah, 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 so and so. So, is that an oscillation ang numerator? Depende sa terms na gigamit. Either vibration, oscillation, cycle, and revolution. But usually sa mga equipment, cycle and revolution talaga siya. Okay? Sa mga electrons, sa mga particle chemistry, muna to ang mga kuan, mga oscillation, electrons, magbangga-bangga siya ba? Okay? Oscillation niya. Ang vibration po sa sound, usually sa sound. Okay? Muna siya, vibration per second. Okay? You got the point? So, malakasagaran. Pero actually, sa sound wave naman siya. Okay? Sa sound wave o sa mga electromagnetic ang kaning kuan. Di man ka maka-apply revolution sa kuan, guys. You can never apply revolution per second and 1 cycle per second in an electromagnetic wave, which is the speed of a sound. For example, if you hear a music, a song, so that is a sound wave. Okay, that is not a light wave, a sound wave, audio. Okay, it's gonna be like your eardrum will oscillate. I mean, will vibrate. That's why vibration per second or oscillation per second. Muna siya na frequency. Okay, muna siya frequency. So, it's too much frequency. So it's very dangerous to your ear if taas ang yung frequency. Okay? So the more higher frequency, the more it can, it can really transmit the sound wave. Something like that. Okay? It travels a very, very high wavelength. Something like that, okay? Good the point. Muna siya mahitabo. Diba? Any question so far? So, imo dito hinumduman ka itong mga electromagnetic wave na yun. Hinumduman ka ito mga radio wave, mga ganon, diba? visible ray wave, ganun, ultraviolet, infrared, ganun, chupa-chucho. Okay? So, kaya mo dyan ay kinaunahan ng kanang radio waves, guys, are. So, radio waves, kanang mga sound, this is the very easy to detect electromagnetic radiation. Because radiation, if you try to be strict, it's not only meaning light, it's also a sound. That's why we have, again, electromagnetic radiation and nuclear radiation. Get the point? So two types. Ang radiation, one ang mag-limit sa light lang. Okay? It's also for the sound wave. Since, of course, the people are not studying deeply, that's why they cannot understand. But for the science courses individual, we know, okay, that the sound is also a type of radiation. But for normal people who is not a science-related graduate, they will never understand, of course, because their physics is not deep, you know? Their physics is not too profound. They will stop only on the basic. But we, related to science courses, we go deep. That's why we understand that there are so many types of radiation. Not only the light, okay, the sun like this, or whatever, or the X-ray. It's not only like that, the beta ray, gamma ray, so many radiation around us, including the colors. Colors also radiation. That is visible ray radiation. Okay. But the impact to our health is not bad. Okay? It's gonna be like that. So we need to say pala, radiation is not totally bad. Especially if it has a lower frequency. You get the point? So, because if radiation is bad, then you cannot see the fluorescent light. Like this. This is also a radiation. It will emit photon particles. And the photon particles will emit into the room. It will light. Right? And that is also radiation. Electromagnetic radiation of the light. Okay, see? So we need to say, radiation is not totally bad. It depends on the frequency, like that, how it penetrates to your vital organs, like that. That's why in the studying of radiation, we need to determine the penetrating power. How strong is that? Because if the penetrating power is very high, then it will go to your cells, in your organ. But it's not very high, then it will not penetrate in your vital organ. Just like the colors, like this, the blue, yellow, like this, the fluorescent. Okay, that's all visible ray radiation. Okay, di ba? Oh, sabot na tanong, ang radiation, wala lang siya mag-limit sa X-ray, sa alpha, beta, gamma, mga gano'n, sa adlaw, o sa cellphone. Okay, that's why ang kanang cellphone, nala siya radiation because the light there emitted is so strong. Cellphone, there's an electromagnetic radiation there. So, muna madaot imong mata because constant exposed ka sa cellphone. Radiation there you acquire that will go to your brain cells, madaot imong mata, is not nuclear radiation but electromagnetic radiation. Okay? That will penetrate your brain cells. Okay? Because the brain and the eyes are connected. Okay? Something like it. You could either be blind or the reverse. Your brain first will be damaged and later on you will be blind. It depends on the situation. If it is really the reverse first and then basta na mag-unang buta, maawit pag damage ang brain. As you say, damage ang brain una, awit pa ang mata. It depends on the target of electromagnetic radiation power in your cell phone, laptops, any television. That if you keep on focusing without adjusting your position, then very sharp. What do you call this one? The resolution of your screen is very sharp. Meaning, that's penetrating to your eyes. So that's electromagnetic radiation, not a nuclear radiation. It's not the same. Okay? You get the point. So in short, there are also cases that they die because of electromagnetic radiation. Okay? That's true. Okay? Because constant exposure to the mobile like this until going to the bed like that. So of course it will damage the eyes, okay? Like that. Especially very short distance. You will like this to your screen, okay? So do not make your eyes too much on the screen. Okay, too much close. You should be like this and let's say you'll be oblique, oblique, a little bit slant. Okay? So that the direction of the light will not penetrate directly if you are in oblique position. Meaning a little bit diagonal, like this when you look. Okay? So if you straight, problem also because direct ang absorption sa radiation. Okay? So you make your body a little bit oblique into the chair or slant so that the electromagnetic radiation will not go directly to your eyes. At least it will be scattered a little bit. Okay? Or dispersed a little bit before going to your eyes. Okay? Ganon. Muna siya sa electromagnetic radiation. Get the point, mga palangga kong hitad lang, dapat natin sa electromagnetic radiation. Nakakaloka. Okay, thank you so much for watching this live streaming. I hope you like it. Bye-bye. And then you can click the notification bell for some newest updates of I Am a Singer. And then you can subscribe my YT channel, mga palangga. And I'm very, very happy to that. Okay, thank you so much. Shout out, Sir Dance Ibanez. Okay, like that. Bye-bye. Okay guys, so see you later. Umiinom sa kugla. Gusto na rasa, bakit inom ng coffee? Katulog ako, di ko katulog. Yes. Diba? Diba guys, ano na siya guys? Okay? Because of, you know guys, what do you call this one? Hormone? It will reduce your melatonin. Melatonin hormone is a hormone that is responsible for sleeping. Okay, if your melatonin is very, very weak, slow level, then you cannot sleep easily. Okay, you get the point? Like that. So the more you sleep, you should off the light, because if you don't off the light, it will, you know, it will reduce your melatonin, the sleeping hormone, then you cannot sleep easily. Okay? And then another reason also, because you are producing electromagnetic radiation. So that's why it's better to off the light when you sleep. Okay, any questions so far? Any objection? Better to off the light when you sleep. Because the light will give photon ray, which is one of the electromagnetic radiation. Then it will distort your melatonin hormone, which is the hormone for the sleeping regulation. And then if your hormone will become reduced, will not be in adequate level, then you cannot sleep. You will develop insomnia. Okay, that's advisable. Aside from having a disease of the radiation, okay, because this electromagnetic radiation, as I told you, right? Okay, also, your sleep cycle will be disturbed. So better off the light when you sleep, before you sleep, okay? It's up to you if you don't follow, because this is highly scientific. Because you know, if you love to sleep when the light is not off, then it's up to you, okay? But study says, when you reach 60 years old, okay, 50 years old, 60 years old, 70 years old, you will develop a chronic disease. Because of the electromagnetic radiation of the light. Because every time when you are a kid until adult, you never off the light when you sleep. Right? So be careful. Because chronic disease will not come quickly. You can develop that after 10 years, after 15 years, after 30 years, as if nothing happens. You will not feel pain. Okay, nothing. You will never feel the pain or symptoms or whatever, but you will have just that in reaching that particular age, let's say 50 plus. Okay? Okay, dependent pa sa age ang chronic disease. Age, lifestyle, human susceptibility. Human susceptibility meaning resistance of your body, and then sometimes also genetic factor, inheritance. Okay? For example, if your genes of your generations to generations, your grandfather, grandmother have diabetes, you have also the tendency to have that. Because that is genetic information, inherit by your father, like that, and you cannot complain for that because that's genes, okay? So although the percentage is not so high, but there's a possibility. But usually, the more reasons for that are for the lifestyle, okay? Now, sleeping with the light on, it's a lifestyle, right? It's not age, it's not genetic factor, it's not sex. Sex, gender also will affect. Okay, that if you're a girl, if you're a woman, like that, you will feel like, for example, if you're a woman, you will have a breast cancer, like that. And for the boy also, at the age of 40 plus, prostate cancer. Okay, for the, what do you call this one? Testosterone. The male sex organ or reproductive organ. Okay, something like that. So, atake dito ang mga chronic disease. Ganon. Okay, so dugay pa siya, pero be careful lang. You get the point? Mga chronic ba siya. Okay, anak siya. So, importante yun ang kuan guys ha, ang effect sa electromagnetic radiation, not only the nuclear radiation. Okay? Get the point? Alangan man mo, mukuan pa ito yung nuclear radiation. Panagsara ba kaya ang nuclear radiation? Okay, ang kanang mga transmutation sa elements, yan, di man ka ma-expose kayo na ang usually ma-expose anak ka na ng mga chemist, nagtrabaho sa mga chemicals, mga geologist, mga miners, what else? Nagdig sa mga yuta, kinaman yung mga elements transmutation, alpha ray, beta ray, gamma ray. Kaya mo transmutate man ang mga elements, mo decay siya after how many years? Imong trabaho, yung anak ka rin, magukay-hukay ka. So there's a tendency makareceive kang nuclear radiation. Diba? Pero in case for us, we'll never working in the laboratory. Okay, we are never working in the under the soil. A lot of elements there. Okay? No, naturally occurring radioactive material ang tawag doon, norm. Again, naturally occurring radioactive material. So these are elements na nasa yuta na makakause of radiation. Muna siya nuclear radiation. Okay, you got the point mga palangga akong type. Okay. So kami sa radon ha, be careful for the radon gas. The radon gas also, kanang rock formation, nasa na siya radiation, taas na yung radiation. Halimbawa guys, na nag-demolish sa building, demolition process, right, in construction safety, right? So, na-demolish nga building, there's a demolition that you will go in there and you did not wear the appropriate mask. There is a radon gas. You know radon? The radon gas with an atomic weight of 222 is a very strong nuclear radiation producing gas. Okay, after the demolition of the buildings. Okay, or rock formation. You know rock formation? In the soil also. Okay? So, muna siya. So, muna siya ang mga ionizing radiation. Delikado siya, ha? Mga palangga akong hita. Okay? Kaya mo, ionize mo siya, guys. Good. Diba? Ionization. Nakakaloka. Muproduce siya ions. Ang ions, musulod na sa atong ilong, mata, bakba, lubot, skin. Ions, I-O-N-S. Positively charged ions and negatively charged ions will easily penetrate to your skin. Okay? Ganon. Thank you so much po lang akong itad. Bye-bye. God bless. O, diba? Salamat kaayo sa pagtanaw ninyo aning vlog. Nakakaloka. Okay.